Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me again on another one of my little chats. Well, in the last week or so I've had an interesting time. I've been down to Melbourne. I was invited to go down to Melbourne and join a group of facilitators on a new modality for looking after PTSD, phobias. It's a very quick process. It's been interesting. It actually deals with the distraction and disconnection of the trauma or the event from actually the feelings that you have. And I'll go into that later in another video I do on the havening technique. But the main reason I wanted to talk today was the fact that I used to look at those little trips away and say, well, that's so exciting to go away, have a plane trip, all wow. But I found that this time to actually go and do something like that was not, it was a strain. I was excited to go, and I was excited and I was happy to be asked to do it. But I found that what it did do for me is it really tired me out. It really made me tired. And it's a time when having Hashimotos has really made me understand how you really need to look after yourself and look after, your ability of what you can do. And so I came back to a week where I had a few speaking gigs to do and clients, and I only take on a set amount of clients now because I actually am dealing more with trauma type clients. But the thing is that what I found is that doing the plane trip alone, I started on Sunday at 2:30. I left the training place and got a taxi to Melbourne Airport. Then from that I got onto the plane. The plane was delayed. Then fortunately my son, thank you very much, picked me up from the airport, which took a lot of the stress and, tiring travel back on a train for another hour and a half to get home. But it still took me around 6 hours to get home. And then, of course, when I got home, I had my famous boss soup that I'm making these days, and went to bed, and I was just exhausted, absolutely exhausted. So, Monday, I rested so much on Monday, and then even on Tuesday, I couldn't even go and play racquetball because I was so tired, and I'd found that the air conditioning in the room had actually given me a bit of a cold, so I wasn't feeling 100%. But I think probably more than anything, I was tired. I was fatigued. And it is a part of the Hashimotos, and it's a part of where before I used to be able to do things and get through them and come back up again and go again. And, mothers out there and single dads and people that are out there doing life and getting up and going and getting up and going. We do it and we keep going and going. But I can't do that now. And I peter out so quickly. So it's very important now, I know, for me to look after me. So I cancelled my racquetball, even though I love it, and I know my endorphins are sitting in the little pool going, come on, I want to play. Well, they didn't get to play on Tuesday morning. And I unfortunately had to cancel a speaking gig I was doing for a bunch of senior people that I was really looking forward to doing. Speaking to them about age and, the numbers and thinking ourselves old. And so there were things I had to give up. And then when it came to Thursday, again, I had to give racquetball a miss again because I had another speaking gig, which I did, and I did do it today, for another bunch of senior cits, and I was speaking on the topic of depression and anxiety, and it's a huge topic, and I wanted to make sure I made it there, and I did, and it was really great, and I had a lovely time doing it. Great questions from a great bunch of people, and I hope that I sort of got a few questions and answers back to them that they really needed. But I'd have to say that the one thing I know now is it's extremely important to look after yourself, and particularly for anyone that's got any sort of illness or disease, or even just the common flu. When we get that, we seem to try and soldier on through the common flu, but we need to look after ourselves, and we need to say, you know, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to look after self. And, you know, I just want to put that in there today, because the thyroid and my autoimmune disease that I'm going through, my adrenals being so depleted, the brain fog I have, the constant thing of like getting on a plane and thinking, like even at the airport at Melbourne, I'm looking around and thinking gluten-free, where's there something gluten-free I can have? But there was nothing there, so I couldn't have it, and I didn't want to risk it. And fortunately, when I got on the plane, they did have gluten-free cookies, so they were good, but they probably had a sugar content I shouldn't have had. But, you know, it was something to have with a cup of tea, which was lovely, which, of course, I have black because of dairy-free. But they're the little things that we don't think of when we change our diets, and we have to make these changes. And it's important because for me and for other people out there, and I'm sure we're all suffering in different ways, that it's important to get our diet right. It's important to look after our bodies from the inside, because the inside will reflect our outside. I mean, after my last video, I had a lot of people saying how much better I'm looking and how well I'm looking, and I thank everyone for that. That was really great encouragement to get. But it's a reflection of what I'm doing for the inside of my body. It's a reflection on how I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to beat this. And I want to know for anyone out there that, you know, if you want to touch base and you want some help, please message me, because I'm very passionate about this. And I do believe that a lot of things, you know, are in our hands, and it's about time we sort of take a little bit of responsibility for that. But it's also, be selfish. It's okay to be selfish. It's cool. And I've got a little friend that joined me. So the lovely women from the Senior Sits group, and this is my friend, right? And this little friend's going to be sitting in my office, my therapy office, with me and joining me. And I'm sure that my beautiful grandchildren that are coming to visit me tomorrow are going to also love playing with my little friend. So we'll probably get a name, or if anyone wants to suggest a name for this little friend of mine, please feel free to do so. And thank you once again for joining me on another one of my videos, and I'll get another one off to you next week, or, well, you know, next few days. I will be doing shortly, though, a live video through Facebook, and it will be offering people to ask me questions on anxiety, and I will give you plenty of notice when I'm going to do that, so that it'll be open. Hopefully someone will join me here reading out any questions as they go. I will keep discretion on the names of people that are messaging me on any questions. And, yeah, that could be really exciting. So I plan to do that in the next few weeks. So, yeah, thank you. And look, hey, have a great day. Okay, ta-da.